This is the Church of St. George at Arreton, and we're now walking up the nave towards the east end. You'll see the great east window, and this is the sort of thing you'll find in any English parish church. The floor has been redone, probably in the late 19th century, and you can see it's very clear and very organised. The disarray caused by burials inside the church has been lost, and people have paid quite a considerable amount of money to have beautiful tiles put down. We're going to walk into the south side, and here, in most English churches, you'll find a chapel, which in many places is referred to as the Lady Chapel, in honour of the Virgin Mary. In the floor, you can find examples of burials inside the church, and I'm just going to focus on two remains here. They survived the reorganisation of the floor, and they are examples of earlier burials. And over on this side we can see another one, although we can't actually see the name of the deceased person. In the chapel area we can see further tombstones set into the floor, and over on this side we have a very rare example of what is probably a 14th century brass. This was commissioned by the deceased and set into the stone over their burial, and it's an example of the knight who is buried underneath this stone, who wanted to show his wealth and his social status, and he's portrayed in the most formal knightly way. Here, against the wall, we can see probably a Jacobean table. That's probably 18th century, and it is in the place where the former stone altar would have stood in pre-Reformation times. And over here on the side, on a little ledge, we can see a statue, a small statue about 18 inches high, of the Virgin Mary, as a reminder of England's Catholic heritage. So this church doesn't have too many examples of burials inside the church, although they are all here. They have been covered up by stone flooring. We can see the memorials to past generations, and we can see brass plaques set into the wall. And here we have a bell, and I'm not quite sure why we have a bell. But as we walk off to the west, we can see how the church has been a focus of memorials. And here we have memorials of people who fought in Burma, and you can see the name very slightly at the top of the window. And that's a major campaign for British Imperial forces. And as we walk along, we can see wall plaques. And this one is a plaque to Sir Leonard Thomas Worsley Holmes. The Worsley family are a long-established family on the Isle of Wight and associated with Appuldurcombe, which is a major house now in ruins, but at one time was one of the most fabulous country homes. And here's another one, the Reverend Sir Henry Worsley Holmes. And I've often written about the idea of parish churches being cultic centres, and by that I mean it is a place where people in a family will come again and again, generation after generation, to be remembered and to remember. And here we are with another burial in the floor. I'm going to turn the camera now, try not to be confused by it. So it's William Ruffin of Birchmoor, gentleman, died May 26, 1757, aged 73. Also Sarah, relict of the above William Ruffin, who died December 27th, 1772, aged 80 years. And this is a very good example of a burial in the floor covered by a black, probably Belgian marble, polished limestone, or even slate tombstone, and sitting there quite happily, having escaped the renovations. Here's another one, and I'm going to move further forward and turn again. And this one is Johannes Roberts Armiger. Now what that is John Roberts. Armiger means that he held a coat of arms and he was Armigerius, who died 31st May 1741 and the 53 years of his age, aetat 53. And here we are with more wall plaques. Charles Burland, who was a doctor, fellow of the Royal, Geological Society. And we have Charles Augustus Halsam and his wife Olympia, and they have a tomb out in the churchyard. And we have Charles Halsam, nephew, and Robert Bell of Stickworth, and I'm not too sure where Stickworth is. So, as you can see, although Arreton is by no means the finest English parish church, it contains lots of burials, lots of tombs, and often all covered up under the floor. We'll be visiting many more churches such as Arreton, and I hope you'll join me for another walk round. Thank you.